90s are a great movie decade, but there are a number of treasures, a number of movies that nearly nobody has ever watched or heard of. So this is my top 20 greatest 1990s movies that you've never heard of. Maybe you have, maybe you're a cinephile, know everything, but I think most people in my life would never heard of. I'm looking at these. I think none of these. Nobody would have seen any of these that I know. So let's go through this list, and these are some great recommendations for you. Number 20 is Ronin Guy from 1990. Now, by the way I determined this list, along with this Ronin Guy movie, is I looked at Letterboxd and I saw how many people had watched all the movies I had liked or rated pretty highly in the 1990s. And some of these have like less than 1,000 people have marked them as watched on Letterboxd. This one only has 3 fans. This is outrageous. It's a great looking, grubby samurai movie. I think if you like Harakiri, Seven Samurai, Degenerate. Now, it's not as good as Seven Samurai for sure, but this is the kind of movie for you. It has really awesome cinematography in it. You could pause at any moment, take a picture, put it on the internet and say, look at this movie and gush about it. I think a lot of people, a lot of cinephiles would like this movie, although it's slower. It's not for everybody, just for a casual watch. Number 19 is from 1990 as well. It's Mountains on the Moon by the director Bob Rafelson. You know him from his 70s movies with Jack Nicholson, Five Easy Pieces, The King of Marvin Gardens, but this is a sprawling story about the real-life Francis Burton. It's a British imperial movie from the 19th century. It is somewhat dark. It occasionally is, I think, epic in scope, like 1980s blockbuster or Oscar-winning movies like Out of Africa, but it's way better than that. It's going to be hard to find a good copy, though. I could not find like a Blu-ray quality copy. Poor DVD quality. You'll have to live with it until hopefully someone remasters this pretty good-looking movie. Number 18 is by William Friedkin, but I think anybody knows this movie is directed by Friedkin. It's a basketball movie. I love basketball. It's Blue Chips. So yeah, William Friedkin directed a movie starring Shaquille O'Neal. Does anyone remember this? I actually kind of like this movie because it's about the contemporary moment, paying athletes, this college portal that they have in America in the NCAA, which athletes just move from school to school, and a lot of college sports now is about money. This one's about, well, you should see it, but Nick Nolte stars in a William Friedkin movie. I think that would interest a lot of you. Number 17, I go on and on about this movie, but no one seems to have seen it. Bruce Beresford, who's known for Driving Miss Daisy, a number of actually great movies like Breaker Morant, did this movie in the early 1990s about a Jesuit missionary in 17th century Canada. Okay, that's not a sexy topic. It's a really well done movie about encounters with Native Americans, Europeans and Native Americans. It's Black Robe. This is a harsh, disturbing movie where, you know, you can kind of see all sides. It's really well done in that respect. It's not easy to watch necessarily, but it's got a really compelling narrative with this priest. Kind of like Martin Scorsese's Silence. I feel there's I swear Scorsese probably watched this movie a few times. But Black Robe, go check it out. One of the best pre-20th century movies about that era of the United States, or okay, what would become the United States and Canada. Number 16, those of you who like documentaries, you have to see this. It was lauded at the time it came out. I watched it several years after it was out. When I first heard about it, the directors Bruce Sinofsky and Joe Berlinger, they later did the Paradise Lost documentaries, which are quite good too. True crime things. Go check them out. Brothers Keeper. This actually is true crime. Brothers Keeper. Worth watching. As I check on Letterboxd, nobody I follow has marked this as watched. This has 4 fans. It does have 5,000 viewers, but this is about a couple of sad, maybe low IQ, maybe obviously dirt poor guys in New York State, and they may have done nefarious deeds. And there's court cases. This is a social commentary sort of documentary. It's extremely well done. Just go check this out. It's basically a true crime murder case in a way, but it's about all kinds of other things. Very good movie, Brothers Keeper. Number 15, a wild and innovative director at the time. I wish he had done more. Well, actually, I wish Hollywood had given him more to do. Alex Cox, who did Repo Man and Walker and a couple other movies like that. Sid and Nancy. In the early 1990s, went down to Mexico and did what almost no Hollywood director ever does, is do a movie about Mexico in Mexico. This one's called Highway Patrolman, and it's a real-life, realistic story of a cop, a Mexican guy who becomes a cop. He's young, he gets married, and then life as a patrolman. And the reason this is innovative is because Cox used, I think, handheld cameras and followed him around with very long takes. This looks like an Inarritu movie or Alfonso Cuarón in some way, shape, or form. So I would go check this out if you like interesting, innovative cinematography, and a good real life story about a cop. Number 14, another underseen documentary, probably because it's got a political edge to it, but I don't think this has a stance. It just what it's about signaled at the time what your politics were about. And I think we need to go beyond that. Jonathan Rosenboom, the leftist critic, liked this movie. Waco, Rules of Engagement. It's a document about Waco when the Clinton administration, if I should blame him or his, attorney general, whatever, raided the compound of David Koresh and the Branch Davidians, who were a cult. And should the federal government go and destroy a cult, basically? This is very well done. It is harrowing. It takes you inside the cult, which is disturbing, but then you sort of feel sorry for them, which is weird. And I find this movie absolutely fascinating still. And look, people rate it pretty highly. It's got 3.9 on Letterboxd, so go check this one out. By the way, I've written about most of these movies in my book, The Great Unknowns, 100 of the best movies you've never heard of. I collected all my reviews on Letterboxd, edited them, updated them. Lots of insight and analysis in this. Here's the book. It's got the watermark on it, but this is otherwise a beautiful hardcover. You can get the ebook from Amazon. A lot of these movies are written about in this book. Flip through it, a great present for other people. Check out the links to the ebook, the paperback, and the hardcover in the description below. Number 13, one of my favorite directors ever, Werner Herzog. Well, here we go with another documentary. A wonderful documentary about a German who goes to the United States and then enlists in the Vietnam War, becomes a pilot, becomes a POW, shot down in Vietnam, and he's captured and in a prison camp, and this is a harrowing interview with him about what he did, and he goes back to Vietnam and sorts of talk about his life. Fascinating, and this is so fascinating. Herzog made a fictional account of this in his movie Rescue Dawn, starring Christian Bale, which is a pretty good movie. So go check out Little Dieter Needs to Fly. Number 12 is a signal of what's to come on this list. There's going to be 3 or 4 others of these movies from East Asia, like Japan and Korea. This is a Chinese movie, and China is really up and coming in terms of its cultural development and movie making. It's really good in the 80s and 90s. And you got a ton of great Chinese movies in the 90s. Roger Ebert gave this 4 out of 4 stars, The Blue Kite. Now, you may remember the Oscar-winning picture, The Last Emperor, which is kind of a fall of the last emperor of China who goes and becomes an imprisoned ordinary guy. Here you get a movie from a so-called proletarian point of view, an average person, poor person in Beijing in the 50s and 60s during cultural revolutions and uprisings. This was a banned movie in China at the time. Now, I've seen read banned books campaigns. I've never seen a watched banned movies campaign. If we had those, this movie would be on it. It's definitely worth checking out. Number 11 is a fantastic movie all over the place. Should have won all kinds of awards, but due to technicality Oscars, it didn't, because it was filmed in Uruguay or something, but it's our Argentinian film. Whatever. A Place in the World. Go check this movie out. This is a boy's life movie. It's about growing up in Argentina on the frontier. It's got a mix of topics, and every single character is dynamic and complex and interesting as this boy grows up to be a man. And there's some really interesting political complexity to this movie. Beautiful cinematography. I can't recommend A Place in the World enough. This could be one of the best movies, maybe the best movie on this list. Number 10, I'm shocked that people on Letterboxd and other places haven't seen this movie, because the great actor, one of the greatest actors ever in terms of film, Robert Duvall, is in this movie. He not only starred in it, he directed it. He's a Pentecostal preacher gone nuts. It's The Apostle. Great performance here. I think this movie might weird some people out because it's pretty heavy on the Pentecostal Christianity in the U.S. South stuff. It's kind of weird for a number of people. But I know a number of great artists have written about that. I just read James Baldwin, the great author's first novel, Go Tell It on the Mountain, which has that stuff in it too. So this is worth checking out, because the apostle, the preacher who Duvall plays in this, is a holy roller, but he commits a terrible deed and then escapes and then goes and tries to create his own church. And it's really morally complex and interesting. I still think this movie is very good. Go check it out, please. Number 9, I'm going to put 2 movies, because this is the spot for director John Sayles. Very good director. Working more sometimes as an indie director, a little outside of the Hollywood system, but with Hollywood actors often. City of Hope and The Secret of Rowan and Nish. These are very good movies from the early to mid 90s. I think I would say The Secret of Rowan and Nish, this is a family movie. It's one of those dark kids' tales. Really, really strong Irish folklore stuff. I would definitely check this out if I had a family, or I wanted to watch a movie with a bunch of people who weren't real cinephiles, but they were interested in engaging material. Number 8 is a movie, I feel like I should recommend this to everybody in the world. And it's not watchable for everybody, but I think what it's about, it's a pro-business movie. It's great about the love of food, grocery stores. It's a Japanese movie full of wonder. It's Supermarket Woman, which is in the Criterion Collection. This movie is directed by Juzo Itami, who did in the 80s Tampopo, which is one of Cinephilia's favorite food movies. To me, this is more watchable and interesting for a wider range of people. It's about a woman who tries to help a small grocery store fight against a big chain grocery store, and she unifies all the departments in the store. She's a little bit of a Pollyanna go-getter. I've watched a lot of movies in the last year or two, and this is one of the 3 or 4 that still stick in my head. And that's just me. I mean, I'm not saying this is great or anything for you, but this could be a movie for you, because it's a fun comedy with great topics in it. I just love the movie all around. So go check this out. Supermarket Woman. Number 7, we've got a Finnish director everybody needs to know who's watching this, whether you're the most casual movie goer ever, to all the cinephiles. Aki Kaurismäki, probably mispronouncing that, from Finland. One of the great directors of the last 40 years, and he's got a dry sense of humor, dark comedy sort of thing, a little Coen Brothers-like. You should watch all of his movies. They're funny in their own way if you find their wavelength. I'm picking this movie, Drifting Clouds, from 1996. It's like an Edward Hopper painter, the great artist, American artist, come to life, but it's about the warmth yet sterile and cold. All those things go together. Aura of Finland. And always he's talking about down and out sorts of people in Finland in his movies. That's what this one is. It's got a couple. Will they stay in love? They both get fired from their jobs. Kaurismäki has a dark love of America, too. American music in particular. But check any of his movies out. I think they're all good. Number 6, we go back to Japan. This one, I think, won the Cannes Palme d'Or. It won something. But it's a great redemption story about a guy who goes to jail because he did something, well, anybody would have done, but it's pretty violent. And then he's released from jail. He's on probation. He tries to start anew with a barber shop, and he's a fisherman. This is called The Eel. This is from a great director, Imamura, who knows people, and they're all complex and sort of bringing together odd, down and out, sad, disturbed characters who may unite and become their own little society, a little friend society, and a hope that springs eternal that lies underneath the surface. So this movie's called The Eel. This guy fishes, so what's under the surface is maybe the hope that is not there with the world of despair and darkness. So this is a great movie. I wrote about it in my book. Go check it out. Number 5, when I made a video on this, director Andre Gregory, or here he's just an actor, I think, in this movie. He's a director too. He retweeted my video, Vanya on 42nd Street, a movie about Chekhov's Uncle Vanya. This is Andre Gregory and Wally Shawn, who a lot of you would know just by his face and his voice. But they're redoing as actors in a New York City theater, along with Julianne Moore and a few others you may know, in a very sparse, Spartan setting, almost no sets or costumes in this. And it's a film version of Uncle Vanya by director's Louis Malle. So it's in the Criterion Collection. It's a fantastic movie. I think anybody who has that much interest in any literature and likes Chekhov should watch this movie. Number 4 is a pair of movies. They do go together because they're all one big story about a kid growing up in France. That's all I need to tell you. My Father's Glory, My Mother's Castle. This one can be watched with family. It's very cute. I like the second movie better, My Mother's Castle. So this movie goes, to me, it gets better. And this is a great unknown movie. I mean, I'm looking at the list. This is all great, but this one is particularly quite good, especially given that this is one I can recommend to just about everybody. Number 3 is a very fun movie. If you're into film studies, if you're a director or writer, you gotta watch this. You have to. It's The Mirror. Iranian director Jafar Panahi, who just won, I think he won a prize at the Cannes Film Festival in 2025. This movie, though, is almost 30 years old. It's about a girl wandering through the streets of Tehran. She gets lost. She needs to get home. How will she get home? Will anybody help her out? Will terrible things happen to her? And that's a setup for this very tense and interesting movie, is a wandering sort of cinematographic, realistic depiction of Tehran, and you feel for this girl. But something happens in the middle of this movie that you've never seen in your life. Literally, you've never seen in your life. No one's ever done this. So if you want to know what that is, check it out. I cannot spoil it. But it's a twist that will annoy some of you, but a lot of you, I'm telling you, will relish it if you're a director or writer. Check it out, The Mirror. Now we go back to East Asia for number 2. And I think this is a very unknown movie. I don't even know why. 14 fans on Letterboxd. What is wrong with the world? The Chinese director Zhang Yimou, whose name, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it. I'm terrible at pronouncing. And this title is Judu. is this is a fantastic movie. Now, he did Raise the Red Lantern after this, and you may not know what that movie is. I think a number of people know it. It is fantastic, but this is the one I think before it, from 1990, and it watches like a folk tale come to life with the fantastic cinematography. It's romantic but brutal at the same time. It's about down and out people in rural China at at a dye mill. And that's not going to sell you on it, except to say it is every shot is remarkably amazing in this, and it's a great story too, in my opinion. One of the best movies in the 90s. Now, speaking of the best movies in the 90s, we're here at number one. And my list didn't have a lot of Hollywood movies because that's just the way that the Letterboxd list went. I think if you go check out my best of the 1990s list on Letterboxd, which is 300 movies deep, or my book, The Great Unknowns, which you can buy, obviously, you'll get a number of recommendations that are maybe more palatable or have more, Hollywood star power in them. But my number one doesn't have that. It's from Taiwan, from the great director Hu. I shouldn't even try to pronounce his name. I'm terrible at pronunciations, but this movie, The Puppet Master. Beware looking this up on IMDb, because there's horror movies called The Puppet Master, which are not this movie. This movie is in Taiwan about a puppeteer. And this thing spans the first half of the 20th century, and life goes by. In the middle of the movie, several times you'll actually get interviews with the puppeteer himself. So it's sort of a mix of fiction and narrative, documentary, biography sorts of things. So this is a fantastic movie all over the place that combines every aspect of life: the economic, the political, the business, the aesthetic, the psychological, everything. Though Jonathan Rosenboom wrote about this, but a number of people, I noticed 2 people on my Letterboxd, I'm counting them, 2 people have seen this, everybody else hasn't. You must watch this, and in the best version on the biggest screen possible. Now, those are the great unknowns of the 1990s, but really, I probably missed a million of them. This is one of the best decades ever for movies. So let us know your list. Let us know what you think the best unknown movies are, and you can throw Hollywood in here or not, whatever. But let us know in the comments, and let's build a great little curated set of lists, because I know a number of people who watch this channel are really, really sharp. And please subscribe to my channel for more great content. Thank you, and have a great day.